Given to the United States by France, the Statue of Liberty is a symbol of freedom and is visited by many every year. This is one of the most famous landmarks in the world, and there are many reasons that you should come and visit Liberty Island and the Statue of Liberty. But there are a few things that you need to know first. This is Katie from Creative Travel Guide, and today we are sharing tips for visiting the Statue of Liberty. Looking for more travel tips? Make sure you hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. So the most important thing about booking your trip to the Statue of Liberty is to book a ticket 3 months ahead. You will want to book your tickets in advance, especially if you plan on visiting the Crown or the museum inside the Statue of Liberty. Tours and Crown access are very limited and will book up at least 2 months in advance. Make sure you head to the official website to book your tickets ahead of time, plus you save time queuing up for your tickets when you get there. So as I mentioned just now, there is an option for you to go to the Crown of the Statue of Liberty, and I would highly recommend this. This was one of our favourite travel experiences of all time. You get to have breathtaking views of New York City whilst taking in a little bit of the history. There are over 300 stairs on a narrow, winding staircase, so it is not for the faint of heart. But if you are going to head up to the Crown, there is a few things that you need to know. First of all, make sure to wear comfortable shoes and be prepared to climb. Also, especially if you're going to the Crown, make sure to allow plenty of time and try to visit during the week for a quieter experience. So that leads us on to our next tip for visiting the Statue of Liberty. Go early and during the week. So weekends in New York City are always going to be busier than they are going to be during the week because you have people in cities nearby making a weekend trip to NYC. To experience the Statue of Liberty at its best, you do not want to have loads and loads of crowds. Plus, if it is too busy, those ferries can get really overcrowded and you might have to wait a long time to get onto the next one. So try to book a weekday ticket, try and book an early morning ticket, and if you can, avoid holidays. So try to avoid spring break or the summer holidays. So the next thing that you might want to know when you go to the Statue of Liberty is that you can take a free tour. If you want to learn more about the history of Liberty Island, you can take a free tour ran by the Rangers. Now to do this, you need to head to the flagpole on Liberty Island. Rangers lead tours throughout the day, and these last for around 30 to 45 minutes. You can check at the Information Centre on Liberty Island for a full tour schedule. Another tip for visiting the Statue of Liberty is to bring a picnic. There are plenty of green spaces and benches around the island for you to take a seat and enjoy your own snacks. If you do find yourself eating at the cafeteria, you don't have to worry too much. The food quality isn't great, but it isn't as expensive as other restaurants in tourist areas. You can expect to pay around $10 for lunch, and make sure to take advantage of the free water fountains as well. Which leads me on to my next tip. Make sure to bring a water bottle and sunblock. Especially if you're going to be walking up to the Crown, you will need plenty of water for this trip. But it's also a good idea to bring some sunblock, especially if you are visiting in the spring or summer months. There is very little shade on Liberty Island, so bring a hat and sunblock to keep protected. So you might be wondering if you can visit Liberty Island with children. And of course you can. There is a children's version of the audio tour aimed at children aged 6 to 10. This is available in English, Spanish, Italian, German, French, Mandarin, Arabic, Hindu, Korean, Russian, Japanese and Portuguese. There is also a Junior Ranger program for those children aged 7 to 12, and the program is available to print online. Now, something that is often overlooked when visiting the Statue of Liberty is the original torch. Now, up until recently, you had to have tickets to go inside the museum to see the original torch, but that is no longer. There is now a Statue of Liberty museum open to all visitors to the Liberty Island. Here you can see the original torch, which was removed and replaced in 1986 after it had lasted for 100 years, but its damage was beyond restoration. The museum is now open to everyone who visits Liberty Island, so make sure to spend some time and visit the museum. So you might be wondering, how much does it cost to visit the Statue of Liberty? So prices do differ depending on what you are looking for. If you are hoping to just visit the island, an adult will pay $19.25 at the time of recording this in 2021. But it's also the same price if you want to go inside the Statue of Liberty, and it's $22.25 if you want to head up to the Crown. So those are our tips for visiting the Statue of Liberty. We hope you have an incredible time at this famous landmark. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and also let us know if you enjoy these attraction tips. Thanks again guys, take care, and until next time, stay creative.